If you're wondering what to cook today, a good old provision soup is ideal. Firstly, I started off by boiling my split peas until they were tender. Then to a hot pot, I'm adding a piece of butter. Then I'm going to add my onion and garlic to saute until they are tender. To that mixture, I'm adding my chopped pimentos. Then I'm going to add some salt to allow this to just bring about all the flavors. Next, we're adding some chopped shadobeni or bandania, as some of you all may know it. Look at this, look at these colors. Next, I'm going to add my pumpkin to my aromatics and just give that a nice toss. The pumpkin is going to give our soup a nice color. Then we're going to add our cooked split peas, and this is going to give our soup a nice body and thickness. Then I'm going to add in my provision, and my provision of choice would be sweet potato, dasheen, cassava, green fig, but green fig we're adding that later down to the end because it cooks really quickly, and if you add it in early, it can melt down. And we're just incorporating all of that with our aromatics. Not forgetting carrots. I love carrots in soup. Then we're going to add some hot water because hot water helps the provision cook a lot faster, and we're adding just enough to cover our provision. We want to make sure we give that a nice turn and add some salt and then cover until our provision is tender. After about 25 minutes, this is what we have, but we're still adding some more water because we have some provision in there that is still a bit hard. Don't forget, once you add water to your pot, don't forget to mix and turn your pot. And as you can see, our pumpkin is melting down really nicely into the soup. Then I'm adding 1 tin of corn because I didn't actually have corn itself to put into the soup. But if you do, you can substitute the tin corn. And this is what our soup looks like so far. Don't forget to add water as needed. Midway through my soup, I like to add in some seasoning because some of those aromatics can become invisible once we keep adding water to the soup. So in order to bring back flavor, we make sure and add in seasoning along the way. Look at that blue food in there. Then I'm adding in some potatoes to my soup as well. We cannot have a soup without potato. Again, don't forget to give that a nice mix and add salt to taste based upon your liking. I'm also adding in my green fig halfway through my potatoes cooking so that they would more or less finish cooking about the same time. In the meantime, prepare your dumplings. Here we have some nice flour and cornmeal dumplings that I'm just going to add into my soup. For my dumplings, I used about 1.5 cups of flour and 1/4 cup of cornmeal with 1/4 cup of water and salt to taste, and then knead until your desired consistency. And then you can roll out your dumpling into balls or flats. Which do you all prefer, ball dumplings or flat dumplings for your soup, that is? I'm going to add 2 packs of Maggi Flavor the Pot chicken flavor, and I'm also adding back some freshly chopped seasoning to my soup because it just brings back all the flavors that we would have lost during the boiling process and the cooking process of the soup. And we're just gonna give that a nice mix. Look at that ground provision in there. Once your dumplings begin floating to the top of your soup, it has completed its cooking process. At this point, you can give your soup a nice mix and don't forget to taste for salt, and if you feel like you need to add in additional salt, seasoning, feel free to do so. And you can just plate and enjoy. And you have just made a nutrient-rich, full of vitamins, minerals, and fiber soup for your family. It was an absolute pleasure having you all in the kitchen with me today. Don't forget to like and subscribe for much more.